T.O. should take the fight. But if he doesn't, I'd understand. But I think that's a fight that he can even win because Shakur's question to me is, can you deal with Teofimo when he does land? And if he does land. Shakur versus Teofimo. Now I think they're really gonna fight. They're trying to sell it right now. Can Shakur beat Teofimo? I think using the same strategy that Lomachenko used. Yes, Lomachenko showed the weakness in Teofimo's game. Teofimo is another guy that's, I wouldn't call him a weight bully, but I would say he's like he's an athlete, not a boxer. Okay, and that's like your what was the guy's name that fought Roy Jones, fought Bernard too. He Canadian guy. What's his name? Jean. What's his name? You guys know what I'm talking about. Well, anyway, I don't remember his name. I don't know why. I'm bad with names, guys. But what is his name? Guys, somebody put it in the chat. Canadian guy fought Bernard Hopkins and lost. But he's an athlete. And he was an athlete, meaning he's a guy that, he's strong, he's explosive, but they will tire themselves out before they get you out of here. You get what I'm saying? They're not going to get you out of here in 12 rounds. Even though if they go 12 rounds, they have something left. Teofimo is one of those guys that will drain himself. He's a front runner. He will drain himself in the first 5-6 rounds. And if he can damage you, then he can coast the rest of the way. But if he doesn't damage you enough in those first 5-6 rounds, he will slow down after the round 6. And then if you can box, you can take advantage of Teofimo. So, I look at that as a guy against Shakur. Shakur is not going to come in the ring and be anywhere. John Pascal, that's him. But Shakur's not going to come into the ring and give you anything less than greatness when it comes to his ability to his endurance. He's going to be there, right? So if you look at it from that standpoint, Shakur, if he doesn't take any damage in the first 6 rounds and Teofimo tries to exert himself or impose his will on him in the first 6 rounds and doesn't do any real damage or doesn't make a statement, then in the last 6, I think that Shakur will outpoint him and get him out of here. I would think that T.O. should take the fight, but if he doesn't, I'd understand. But I think that's a fight that he can even win because Shakur's question to me is, can you deal with Teofimo when he does land? And if he does land. Now, Lomachenko had to do that. Lomachenko did it. And then you could see those body shots and the way he started hurting Teofimo in the second half of that fight. Teofimo was getting lit up, right? But he had already done enough where you could say, okay, it was a good fight because he did enough damage early and he was dangerous enough early where Lomachenko, being a smaller guy, couldn't open up the way he wanted to until after round 6 or 7, right? So if you thought it was a close fight, it was probably because of that. It was the same thing when Lomachenko fought Devin Haney. Devin Haney was doing well in the first couple rounds until Lomachenko started figuring out his rhythm. He figured out his pattern and adjusted. And he couldn't do shit with him second half of the fight, right? But you would still say, hey, close fight, it went to Devin and whatever. But Lomachenko gave the blueprint for both those guys, in my opinion. And I think that Shakur would try to mimic that. But again, with Teofimo, just like Lomachenko had to do, you're going to have to bring ass to get ass, right? Pause. But you will. And I don't know if Shakur is ready to do that. So that would be a fight that I would like to see. Any thoughts on Kid Austin? That's actually a fight that they should have put up there. Kid Austin versus Shakur. I definitely want to see that too. I'm mad that Kid Austin didn't fight Shakur. I don't know if he really got poisoned or not, but Floyd Schofield, to me, I think that he should fight Shakur because I think he'll do well against Shakur. I really do. I don't know why he avoided that fight. I don't know why he avoided. I think he should fight Haney or Shakur. Really do. I think he's dangerous. He's a young kid. He's gotten a lot better than he was when he was trying to work with Rick Ross. I think his dad probably talks too much, but him personally, I like how hard he works. I watch him on IG. I watch him, put the work in, and I've watched him get better, and I don't see that with a lot of fighters, right? People send their fighters to me to get better at certain things, defense and footwork. I can move. If you ever see any of my video, I really can move. Today, I'm 42, still can move, and I'm 240 or 230 now, but I can still move. So people send people to me for that, right? But most of the fighters that come to you, they don't commit to what you're trying to teach them because they feel like, you're taking me back to the ABCs. I don't like it. But they never learned it. So now I'm like, hey, if you can't spell, I need to take you back, right? And I need to teach you grammar all over again, right? They don't like that because they feel like they already know. So it's hard to teach most fighters new tricks. But Floyd Schofield, he could not deal with boxers for a while, right? I won't name the guys and I won't name the sparring matches, but I've seen him put down a few times with body shots from guys out of Houston. And I'm like, hey, man, I don't know if he got it, right? Um, but lately, the things I've been seeing him do, the way he's moving, the way he fights, I'm saying like he's improving his game. And you don't see a lot of fighters that are willing to be bad at something long enough to get good at it anymore. And I think Floyd Schofield has shown me that he's working hard enough to double down on some of his weaknesses. So I like him. I like him now. But I think his father kind of in the way. But I would love to see him versus a Shakur. That would be a great fight to watch, man. That'd be a great fight to watch. He's a puncher. He fights like I always think that black fighters that fight like Mexicans are dangerous because they're explosive, right? They're explosive as hell. But they actually are pressure fighters that are coming forward. Errol Spencer's one of those guys. So you can see how far a guy can go if he has a different cultural style, but the advantages of his culture at the same time. Like a Mexican who boxes like a black fighter. They're dangerous as hell. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because they're going to give you a different wrinkle and they're blending cultures when it comes to their style. So I always like that. Bivol is a Russian guy that fights like a slick black fighter. You know what I'm saying? Hard to deal with. Hard to deal with. So a black fighter like a Floyd Schofield who fights like a pressure Mexican fighter coming forward in your face but slick. I mean, you saw what Tyson was able to do with that. You saw what Dwight Cowie was able to do with that. So I think Floyd Schofield will be he'll be good when he gets his opportunities to get up there in the upper echelon. I think he'll be good enough to do some damage up there.